this place was, these parkour pros were willing to do 2-block vertical jumps to get here.
Yeah, 2-block vertical.
I didn't fail any of these jumps, and I made it
into
the
even did a little momentum
I
jump
must have
there.
woken up late to whatever this was because I was the last one to show up. At this point, I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but that's when I saw what everyone was waiting in line for. There was a dispenser at the end of the structure. The pro in front of me picked up 2 items, but the only thing I saw them holding was a piece of paper. What could be so valuable about that piece of paper that people would wait in line this long for? When it was my turn, I clicked the button, and I got a piece of steak.
Nice.
So this is how the parkour pros get food. Then I received
you have to do some work.
The paper
for
said
the
farm
food.
work equals 15 minutes. And this is when I realized how life was different on the pro level of parkour civilization. Instead of parkouring for food like the noobs do, the pros parkour for work. Just like the guy who sold me my house, the guards in parkour prison, or even the pros that fed me every day. They were all just completing their daily task that they got from this piece of paper. And now for my first daily task,
so you have
I was
to go to the farm and do some
on
work.
the farm. Before this, I had never seen an animal in parkour civilization, but this is the place they were all kept. This place was responsible for feeding all of the parkour pros and all of the parkour noobs. And it should be no surprise that in parkour civilization, even the animals had to do a parkour course. My daily task meant that I had to watch all of the animals that did the parkour course. Oh man, this job is terrible. Now I'm just gonna have to watch a cow fall off and die. Whoa, what the? Oh my god, this cow is cooking.
That
How
cow
did he even
is,
do that?
whoa.
The parkour pros
What a
only
legend.
eat the meat from the animals that complete the parkour course. They say it enhances your parkour abilities. As for the other animals that don't make the course, well, that's where the meat comes from.
Come on, you're a
noob
chicken.
level. And some
You
noob's
can
gonna have
fly.
to eat that. Wow,
Come on.
Not say I missed
Should
that.
be easier with a
Parkour
chicken.
pros do their daily tasks for a reason. Once you've completed the task that you got on your piece of paper, you take it to the training grounds. This place is basically the only reason parkour pros are incentivized to work. This is because this is the only place in parkour civilization where you can practice parkour without worrying about falling to the lower level. The entrance to the training grounds is blocked
This is a
by
cool
a barrier,
training place.
and the only way in is to throw in your slip of paper once you've completed the work. The daily task I completed gave me 15 minutes of practice time. That meant for the next 15 minutes, I could practice any parkour jump I could possibly think of. Here, you have the ability to build any parkour jump you want. But with this being my first day as a parkour pro, I didn't even know what I needed to practice. So I just decided to do the jumps that people left here. It seemed like a lot of the pros were practicing fence jumps, which are jumps I had little to no experience on. But what scared me the most is what I saw over here. Someone was practicing not one, but multiple 3-block vertical jumps. It almost seemed impossible to do even one. But
These are known as quads.
Practicing these jumps, that could only mean one thing: that the way up to become a parkour master would be nearly impossible. If I was gonna have any shot at ranking up to become a master, I was gonna have to spend much more time in here practicing.
Yeah.
Another beautiful day, and I don't have to wake up to either raw chicken or raw beef. Even though I've only been here for a few days, I feel like I haven't really enjoyed myself yet. I mean, for once in my life, I don't even have to go outside to parkour for food. I don't even have to grab my piece of steak. I'll still have full hunger for days. And now, instead of being bullied by all the parkour pros like I was down at the noob level, I can just do anything I want and no one's here to punish me.
Hey, you want to come with me to get our daily jobs? I don't want to be late.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do my daily task. I think I'm just gonna chill today, honestly.
What? What do you mean you're gonna chill? You're not gonna get your daily tasks? Are you sure about that?
What? I mean, no one says we have to, so what's the problem?
I don't know. I just have never seen anyone not do their daily tasks.
Oh, it's risky.
Well, maybe I'm teaching the parkour pros that they don't have to parkour all the time.
Oh dear,
but
this
later that
might
day, I
not
realized
end well.
I made a huge mistake. What in the world is that sound? Bro, come on, I was just trying to sleep. Who keeps making that horn noise?
Dude, hurry. You gotta get out here now. Follow me and make sure you don't miss a jump.
Whoa, what's going on? Be late for what? Wait, where are you going? I started parkouring in the direction that my neighbor was going.
I feel like a
that's when
parkour
I
master
saw
might
a
have come
bunch
down.
of parkour pros lined up, standing completely still. I had no clue what was going on, but I followed my neighbor, and soon I got in line with all of the other parkour pros. No one was saying anything.
It's Sonic the
Hey,
Hedgehog.
can anyone tell me what's going on?
Dude, don't say anything and look straight ahead.
Why? Can't someone just explain what's happening? But that's when it happened. Not too far ahead, someone dropped down from the sky. It
The
was a
parkour
parkour
master.
master.
One of you was supposed to design a new course, but someone didn't do their task. Who was it?
Oh no, I'm done for. Why does this have to be me? I watched as the parkour master interrogated each and every one of the parkour pros,
He's got 'em
knowing
all
that
into
sooner
trouble.
or later he was gonna show up where I was.
You. What was your task?
My task, I was selling houses to noobs on the bottom level.
Someone already did that task. Prepare for a parkour battle.
A parkour,
A parkour battle against a master? What is going on?
The parkour battle starts now.
This is just great. Why does my first parkour battle have to be against a parkour master?
For
This-
my
this
first
me-
attack, I'm attacking you with a 3-block jump.
Oh, you
Okay,
can do that.
a
No
3-block
problem.
Jump, that's doable. I think I can survive this round. In parkour civilization, it should be no surprise that people fight each other with more parkour. If someone
Go
attacks
on.
you with a jump and you
No!
don't make it, you pay the price.
You
oh,
lose
this isn't
damage?
good. I'm already down 4 hearts.
Wait, did you die?
I
Did the
gave
loser
you an
die?
easy one, but I guess this is going to be over faster than I thought. Get ready for my next attack.
The worst part about parkour battles is you can't even attack your opponent until you defend one of their attacks. And
Whoa.
by the looks of this next jump, I probably won't be attacking the parkour master at all.
Your turn. 4 blocks by 3 blocks diagonal jump.
All right, here goes nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
If you couldn't do the
3.
last one, there's
Oh,
no
man,
way you
this
do
is
that.
so far. How did he do this first try? I was hoping I would get lucky, but luck
No.
wasn't on
Oh
my
my
side.
goodness.
The second attack hit me, and I was down to 2 hearts.
Did you die?
This is too fun for me. One more
This
attack
will-
and you'll be gone forever.
The parkour master was right. If I failed to defend one more attack, it's game over for me.
Oh
All
my
I could
goodness.
hope for now
It's
is
the
that
end.
the parkour master fails this last jump. That way, I could actually have a chance
Oh, it's a
to
3-block
attack.
vertical.
No way he makes this first try. Oh god, he made it.
This is it for you, parkour pro.
No.
A 3-block
Not
vertical
like
jump
this.
to decide your fate.
This was it. My entire journey in parkour civilization came down to this one jump.
gonna die.
And it was a 3-block
no way he
vertical
manages
jump.
that.
I thought when I ranked up to become a parkour pro, my days of parkouring to survive were over. But I soon realized I knew nothing about parkour society. Even as a pro,
My
I wasn't
goodness.
even close to being at the top of parkour civilization. The parkour pros were the workers of society. Every day, we would get a new daily job to complete.
They're
and
still the
I
workers,
found out
yeah.
the hard way what happens
Even though
if
the-
you skip
to
your
be honest, the
job,
noobs,
because the
it's
one day
easier
I
life
didn't
being
get
a
my
noob, isn't
daily
it?
task, a parkour master came down and challenged me to a parkour battle. And now I have to do the hardest jump I've ever done in my life if
Have
I
you ever
wanna
done
live.
this before?
This was it. All my work to rank up to become a parkour
Does he go back
pro
to
was going to
prison?
be for nothing if I didn't make this jump. But at least I was going to die trying. I took a deep breath and I jumped.
No
Is-
way!
Is this real?
He made
I
it?
did it. I made a 3-block vertical jump.
You just bought yourself 5 more minutes of time, but we both know your fate. Get ready to attack me.
The parkour master was right.
What
All
can
I
he
did
do?
was buy myself a little time.
A
How was I
1-block
gonna be able to
backwards
do a
jump.
that
Do a
the
1-block
parkour
backwards jump.
master couldn't do. And if I make it too easy, the parkour master will just get another chance to attack me. I got lucky last time, but I don't think I'd survive another attack from the parkour master. For my first attack, I built a 1-block jump and I did a 360. Maybe,
Nice.
just maybe there was a chance this would work.
Wow, a 360? I've never done that before, but if you did it, it can't be that hard.
Let's go. He's never
Can
done
he
it
do it?
before. I needed him to fail this jump.
What?
He overjumped
How?
it.
Who even does 360s? What is this?
By some miracle, my attack
Wow.
against the parkour master was successful. I think I found his weakness. He couldn't do a 360. This was my chance. I just had to make sure that I kept making my jumps. For my next attack, I built a 2-block jump. I've never even made this jump before, but my entire life depended on it. I jumped, and I successfully
Another
made a 2-block
360.
jump with the 360.
I think he can do that because
This
he just
is
did.
ridiculous. How are you doing these jumps?
I think he just
I
did a
watched as
360.
The parkour master tried to defend against my attack, but once again, the 360 was too difficult for him.
It's all
This
gonna
can't
happen.
be possible. How are you beating me?
Now, both the parkour master and I were at 2 hearts. The next person to land an attack would win the parkour battle.
No way.
All right,
A
you ready for
3-block
a 3-block
360?
jump with a 360?
No, stop. I yield. You win the parkour battle.
He
What?
yields?
Are you serious?
Before he's
No
even
way.
done it?
I actually won the parkour battle? Somehow I beat a parkour master.
Because you beat me, I have something that can help you rank up to become a parkour master.
I could become a parkour master?
No
the
way.
master said that the course to becoming a parkour master would be impossible, but he had something that could help me along the way. He pulled
A
out
totem?
an item and threw it on the ground. I went to pick it
Wow.
up, and I figured out that it was a totem of undying. He said somewhere in the course there is a jump that I won't survive, and I'll know it when I see it. He told me to go attempt the course to rank up and find this jump. He said to find any information about the secret to completing that jump, because if I can figure out how to make the jump, I could rank up to become a parkour
So
master.
you can become
This
a
was
parkour
insane.
master.
Earlier today, I didn't even know parkour battles existed. Not only did I need food to get my health back, but I needed to do my daily task. I barely escaped with my life after missing one day of work.
Feed the
so
noobs.
I wasn't going to do that again. And today, my task was feed
You're going
noobs.
back down?
I realized after all this time of being a parkour pro, I've never made my way back down to the noob level yet. I wonder if anything's changed down there since I ranked up. If you're a pro in parkour civilization and you fall, you'll lose your rank and become a noob again. But you can still go down to the lower level. There's just a different way. This is the first time I've
Okay, so
been
you have to
back
take the
to this part
intentional
of
way.
the parkour temple since I ranked up. And now that I was a pro, I had access to a different doorway that I've never seen before. This new path led to a giant staircase that would take me back down to the noob level.
So this
If
is
I
how the
missed one of
pros
these
come
jumps,
down.
I would for sure die, but fortunately, one block jumps are too easy for me now that I'm a parkour pro. When I got to the bottom, I collected everything I needed in order for me to
Is
complete
this how you
my
feed the
daily
noobs?
task. It's crazy to think that I'm still the only one to have ever completed this course. But
I got more tea, by the way.
this is so strange. I once lived in this neighborhood. That was once my mansion. And now, as a parkour pro, I can see what it really looks like from down
Oh,
here.
okay, so
When
that's
I
not
lived
all
here,
dirt.
I was the only one that lived in my neighborhood, or at least the only one left. So does anyone live here anymore? Hello? Anyone home? Okay, I guess not. Maybe someone bought my mansion? I don't know. Hello? Anyone
Are there
here?
any noobs
Yeah,
in?
yeah, I'm
Oh, hello.
coming.
Oh, no way. Someone actually does live here. All right, time to set up the jumps. Let's see. One
Is it
block
a
jump
parkour
for raw chicken,
pro
and
that
then the
lives
one
here, do you
block
think?
vertical jump for raw
An
beef.
ex-pro.
Man, I can't believe I'm actually doing this job now. All right, mandatory parkour check.
Oh, great. It's you.
You're
Roles
a
reversed.
parkour noob now? Weren't you just at my house? Yeah, you delivered my parkour to me. So what happened?
What do you think happened, genius? You just paid me a huge tip, and I was so happy. Then I fell out the
It
front
walked
door.
off.
Hey, man, well, you know, I ranked up, so you could too. All right, so now you have to choose your
You
jump.
think I don't know what to do already? Just let me jump for my food in peace.
Hey, I feel like I remember being in a situation that was just like this. You really think I could rank up to be a parkour pro?
Not a chance. You're a parkour noob. And you think you're so good now. Just wait till I rank up.
Roles
Oh,
reversed.
shoot. Oh, man, that sucks. Dang, now he has to spend another 50 years in parkour prison.
Oh, no.
well, after
Life
only
has not gone
finding
well
two
for that
noobs
guy.
to feed, I went back to
You
the
know what?
other
You know what?
neighborhood.
I'll say this now, all right? This is the biggest thing that comes from parkour civilization. What goes around comes around, all right? If you're a parkour pro that is mean to the parkour noobs, you never know how your life could change and you could end up at the bottom of the pile again, all right? So what goes around comes around. Yeah, you deserved all that.
Where I found the old man. It just seems so weird that he disappeared out of nowhere. I wanted to see
What
if
if
there
he's
was
in
a
prison?
chance that he came back. But when I got to the house, a parkour master walked out the front door. Luckily, I wasn't spotted. What was a parkour master doing all the way at the noob
suspicious.
level? And why did he come from this house? When I thought the coast was clear, I made my way over. This couldn't be a coincidence. This is the only house I've seen with a secret room, and now a parkour master shows up
What
here.
goes
Does
on
the
in here?
master even know about the secret room? I went to go inside, but something was
He's
wrong.
blocked it
There
up.
was no secret doorway. It was gone. I was sure this was the right house. That parkour master must have came here to block up the entrance. I sat there thinking about why the parkour master would do that, but nothing made sense to me. But that didn't matter to me right now.
You didn't get
now
caught,
that
at
I
least.
finished my daily task, it was time to try the course to rank up to become a parkour master and find this impossible jump. I got back up to the pro level, dropped off my daily task paper, and got ready to climb the parkour temple. Now,
He's
I
going
had
for
one
it.
thing to
Full
worry
health.
about, and that was
Full
making this
hunger.
initial course to get into the temple. I wasn't worried about falling. I was worried about wasting my totem of undying. The parkour master said that I would not survive the impossible jump. So if I got to that jump with no totem of undying, then this entire journey would be for nothing. I scaled my way up the side of the parkour temple until I got to the very top. Most of the jumps were 2-block vertical jumps, but towards the end, I had to make this 3-block jump. Now, I couldn't afford to make any mistakes. That's when I made the last jump, and I was inside the parkour temple.
He's made it
What's
up to the
crazy
top.
Is that none of those jumps were a part of the real course to rank up.
I mean, they weren't that
This
hard, though,
was
let's
the
be honest.
real course. Already,
Oh my
at
goodness.
first glance, I was
Tree
seeing blocks
parkour.
I've never seen used in parkour before, but I was expecting that. There's a reason why almost no pros even attempt this course, and that's because it's so dangerous. If I find this jump and study it like he told me to, maybe I have an actual chance of becoming a parkour
These
master.
aren't even the impossible
I
ones.
climbed
If
to
he
the
falls,
top
does
of
he
the
die, by
ladder,
the way?
and now I was really at the start of the course. Any fall from this height would result in death. And of
Oh, that's
course, I
pressure.
have to do fence jumps as the very first section.
Some people are just
I
happy
held
being
out
a
my
parkour
totem of
pro, but
undying,
not
and I
everyone.
climbed on the course to begin. Fence jumps were my worst nightmare, but so far I've made
Imagine if he
3 in a
uses the
row.
totem
But
when he's
I
not
soon
supposed to.
realized that's all I needed to do because I think I found the impossible jump. What is this jump? Is this a 4-block vertical fence jump? There's no way this is the
It is
right way,
impossible.
right? But there was nowhere else to go. This was clearly the right path, but this jump it had to be impossible. Well, the master gave me a totem for a reason. I attempted the jump, but got nowhere close to even making it.
Why did he
That was
waste
it.
his
That was
totem?
my one chance to use the Totem of Undying, and I'm just hoping that was the jump he was talking about. Now,
Why
I
did he
had to
do that?
study the jump, and I knew just the way to do that. Fortunately, it was my neighbor who was working as the parkour delivery service today. Hey, I need a jump built in my house. Follow me. I need to show you what it looks like. All right, so for the jump I need built, it's kind of a little ways away.
Oh man, is the parkour jump all the way up there?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll tip you good. Just follow me. I brought my neighbor all the way up into the parkour temple and showed him the jump I wanted him to build. Since the jump was complicated, he placed down a block that copies every block on this jump. And after paying for his services,
what observers
I
are really
now
for,
have
they're
this
cameras.
impossible parkour jump inside my own house. Now I can study this jump every single day. It turns out the jump was a 3-block vertical jump, but with the fences, it turns into
Okay.
a 4-block. It was actually impossible. So what was I missing here?
Is
I
it
couldn't just
impossible?
practice this jump
do it with
because
momentum.
parkour civilization laws state all jumps inside your home must have a risk of dying. So practicing wasn't gonna be my best option. This doesn't make any sense. I'll think about it tomorrow, I guess. I
You
was
just
gonna
have to
leave
study
it,
it.
but that's when I slipped. No!
No way! Don't go. You fell back to being a noob. No way!
I thought I was dead until I wasn't.
What?
How am I alive? My journey in parkour civilization should have ended. I was supposed to die there,
Whoa.
but a barrier block caught my fall. This barrier block had to have been placed by someone, right? Unless it wasn't. The guy who came to deliver parkour used a device that copied every single
The
block
barrier
from the
block might
impossible
be
jump.
there.
That had to be it. The barrier was from the impossible jump. This is what the parkour master wanted me to find. It was
Clever.
the way to get past the impossible jump. And now that I know about it, I can actually rank up to become a parkour
No
master.
way.
This means I was gonna
This
have to
is-
prepare.
oh, this gets
I couldn't
deep, guys.
believe it. Just a few
There's a
minutes ago,
barrier
I was
block
about
jump.
to fall down back to the noob level.
There's
and
me thinking
become
he
a
was on his
parkour
way
noob
back down to the
forever.
bottom of the
And
world.
now I'm preparing to rank up again to become a parkour master. All right, let's see what my daily task is today. Parkour course building. Okay, definitely cannot skip that.
Finally, you're here. I thought you were never gonna show up. The parkour masters want another glass course made, and make sure you don't make the jumps too easy. There's only 2 noobs
Oh, it's
left
gonna
in
be
parkour
it's gonna be
prison,
that
so I'll
guy,
just grab
the
one
old
of them
delivery
to do
guy,
the
innit, that
course.
has to
There's
do the
only 2
testing.
noobs left in parkour prison. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. In parkour civilization,
Oh, it might be the
parkour
old guy.
pros are
Didn't he
responsible
see it?
for building new parkour courses for the parkour masters. And since the pros would never want to try these courses on their own, the prisoners of parkour prison are used instead. No way, it's you again.
And you think you're so good now. Just wait till I rank up.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, man, but you gotta be the one to do random parkour testing today.
Why can't you pick the old guy? He's like 100 years old.
Look, man, I don't make the rules. You just gotta do the
He's the
course.
one that got
This
chosen.
is too easy. I'm making it out of here.
No. Oh, no, he's gone for real this time. All right,
He's
daily
not
task
coming back
completed.
now.
One
It's
step
the end of
closer
his,
to becoming a
end of his
parkour
thing.
master.
May you save us all, F-Bo.
After a few more days of completing
this the
more
guy that
daily
can
tasks, I was
restore
getting closer
balance to the
attempting
parkour
the
universe?
course to rank up to become a master. I had been planning this out carefully. I wasn't just gonna go into the hardest parkour course of my life unprepared. I had saved 4 of my daily task papers to take to the parkour training grounds. As a parkour pro, each daily task you complete gives you 15 minutes of practice time.
Oh, so he's gotta
Since
do
I
an
saved
entire
up,
hour?
I have now 1 hour to practice as much parkour as I could. This would probably be one of the last times I could parkour without worrying about dying. Because once I step foot into the parkour temple to become a master, there would be no turning back.
That's
All
it,
of
no
this
totem this
preparation
time.
is relying on the fact that there actually is a secret path to get past the impossible jump. But I've come too far and I've been through too much to give up now.
That's
I
it.
have to
You
believe
have to have
there's
some
a way
faith.
to rank up. I tried practicing every jump that I remembered from the parkour temple. Most of the jumps I saw were
The
either
trapdoor
fences,
stuff.
trapdoors,
Yeah.
or ladders, and I used my entire time in the training grounds practicing those jumps. By the end of the hour, I felt like I had unlocked parkour abilities I've never had before.
Look
I
at
was
him go.
running through fence jumps and trapdoor jumps easily. 3-block jumps weren't even a challenge for me by the end of my training, and that's how I knew that it was time to head to
He's
the
ready.
parkour temple and do the course to become a parkour master.
Yes, sir. He's heading to the parkour temple now. Don't worry, sir. I have something planned. I can promise you he's not making it out alive.
This was
No
it.
way.
It was time
No
to start
way.
the
He's
journey
being
up
watched.
the parkour temple. The last
They're
time
onto
I made
him.
this climb, I had a totem of undying for a second chance. But this time around, there would be no second chances. This was my last and only run. If I don't make every single one of these jumps in the parkour course, this would be the last view I ever have of parkour civilization. I got to the top of the ladder, and it was time to start the parkour course. Any fall from this height would be the death of me. But the fence jumps weren't what I was worried about. It was this, the impossible jump.
Now, how does he do it?
This is when I find out
The
if
barrier block
secret
is directly
path
below him,
real or
right?
not. I studied where the barrier block was in my house. If I wanted to land on the barrier, I would have to walk off the fence. If I jumped,
Here we
I
go.
would miss the block. And that's assuming it was even there. But there's only one way to find out.
This
I
is
walked
it.
off the ledge, and I was alive.
made
was
it.
here. The secret path was real. Now I knew it was possible.
But
it
where's
was
the secret
possible
path
to
go?
become a parkour master. I looked around for where to go next,
Oh.
and I saw the outline of a barrier 3 blocks to my left. And
Easy.
I saw the staircase of
Easy.
barriers that would lead up back onto the parkour course.
That's how
I've
you
never
do
done
it.
invisible parkour before, but there's a first time for everything. I made the 3-block jump, and I was on the secret path. I didn't understand. Did someone make the secret path, or was the course designed like this from the beginning? Either way, however the secret path got there, it got me back on the course. And now I was gonna have to make every jump first try. Thankfully, I got past the fence section, but
Don't
now
mess
I was
it
on
up
the
now. You
trapdoors.
practiced for an hour
Trapdoors
for a
were
reason.
only a quarter of the size of a regular block, meaning if I missed the jump by even a little, it would be
Ooh,
game
that's
over.
tough.
This next jump was a 3-block diagonal jump. I
on, you
didn't
can do it.
practice this jump, but
Nice.
I had made it
Oh,
past
the door
trap
jumps.
doors, but
Does he
now
know the door
I was on
jumps?
the regular doors. I had almost no experience with door jumps.
You can jump
but
up
I
the
knew
doors.
I had to be careful. If I wasn't paying attention and I opened one of the doors the wrong way, I could get knocked off, and
Oh,
there would
that's
be
tough.
no totem of undying to
You've
save
gotta-
me
you've
this
gotta
time.
jump halfway on the
jumps
door.
kept
That's
getting
gotta be the
harder and
trick.
harder, and each jump I felt like I was barely hanging on the edge. But it didn't matter as long as I was staying on the
See,
course.
there we go, that's more
one
like
by
it.
one, I kept
That's
making
tough.
the jumps,
That's
and I
tough.
was getting
Oh,
higher
go on.
and higher off the ground. The last door jump was a 3.5-block jump. It was far,
Oh,
but
easy.
it wasn't going to be the jump that stopped me from ranking up. I
No.
didn't like thinking about the fact that this course had no room for error. When I ranked up before, at least the course had blocks to potentially break my fall, but here, there was nothing that could save me. Luckily, I made it past the door section, and now I was onto the ladder section. Everything was going smoothly until I found something I've never seen before. Is this jump even possible? This is a 2-block vertical jump. I've never seen this jump before, but
You
I
can do
figured
it.
it had to be possible. I went for it,
Nice.
and I made it. And that's
remember
when
he
I
goes,
saw one of the hardest jumps I've
"Oh."
ever seen. Oh no, this could be the end of me. Come on, please hang on. Oh, that was
Oh,
too close.
he's made
I
it
was
just-
inches
they're
away
not
from
easy. They're
slipping
not
off
easy.
the ladder. But by some miracle,
But if
I
you wanna
was
be a parkour
still on
master,
the
you've gotta
course.
do those
Now
jumps.
I was parkouring on fully grown trees. I didn't even know trees still existed in parkour civilization, but I didn't have time to focus on that right now.
Slime.
I was looking at
Oh.
the last jumps, and I realized I was almost at the top. I was actually gonna
Where's that
do
guy
it.
gonna come
Alright,
in the
where
fancy
do I
hat?
jump to now? What the? What is going on? What is? Wait, no! I was too late.
Why didn't you move? You was a... Come on, you've got to move in those
To
situations.
realize. I opened my
Oh, he
eyes
survived.
and I was still on the tree with 2 hearts left. What happened? Was that a part of the course?
That is impressive. I thought the TNT would do the trick, but you just want to stay alive.
What the? Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm so confused. What is going on?
Oh, please don't tell me you thought you were gonna rank up. You were a noob. You don't belong up there. You could never be a parkour master. You belong at the bottom level. You were a noob. You were born to be one, and you'll always be one. And now I gotta finish the job. Prepare for a parkour battle.
Oh god, a parkour battle is not what I need right now. I only have 2 hearts left. That means if I fail to defend any parkour attack,
Oh,
that
no.
will be the end of me. And to think I actually had a chance of ranking up.
Say goodbye to parkour civilization. The battle starts now. I attack you with a 2-block diagonal vertical jump.
Whoever this was severely underestimated me. I've beaten
Oh,
a master in a
easy.
parkour battle, and I
Yeah.
sure wasn't gonna get out to a jump like that.
There's no point in fighting back. Your fate is inevitable.
I didn't listen to the parkour pro. I knew that as long as I could parkour, I was still in this. Now, I couldn't afford to play it safe. I needed an attack that would
He's gonna do a
finish him
backwards jump.
once and for all. And that meant doing a jump I've never done before. Come on, please make it. I did it.
No. What was that? What was that jump?
Well, that would be a
2-block
two-block downwards
diagonal
backwards jump.
backwards
Wait,
jump.
Sorry, I messed
Yes.
up. It's actually a 2-block downwards backwards diagonal jump. This was it. The pro lined
He
up
doesn't
at
make
the
it.
edge of the
He
block
doesn't make
and
it.
jumped backwards.
Come on, please. No!
I did it. I
He
won
dies.
the parkour battle. But against who? That was just a parkour pro. Why
What's
was
he doing?
another pro trying to attack me? And why did they not want me to rank up? What was all that stuff he was saying about how I was born
Can he still
to be
make
at the
it?
bottom? There was too much to think about, but I had to set that aside because now I still had to worry about surviving the parkour
Just 2
course.
hearts
And
as well.
Not even just the parkour jumps. Who knows if there are more traps waiting for me ahead? I took a look at the rest of the course. I could see the final stretch
is
of
it.
jumps,
One
and
slime
all I had
jump
to do
away.
now was a slime block jump. Let's go. All the days I was using my custom
He's
slime block jump
practiced
to get
them
to
many
my bed
times.
were just practice for
Will
this
he take
moment.
fall damage?
I jumped and I made it. Now I
Nice.
was standing on one
Clean.
of the final jumps of the course, and I could see the doorway
Oh,
up
chain
ahead.
parkour.
And
That
now
looks
were
tough.
the 3-block vertical jumps. But I've been practicing for this moment. I used my momentum to do all 5 jumps in a row.
Nice.
In less than 10 jumps, I would be a parkour master. Now I was at a tricky part. I've never even seen chain jumps before, but compared to surviving a surprise attack and parkour battle, it was nothing to me anymore. I made the final chain jump, and I was 1 jump away from becoming a parkour master. This was it. This was what everything was leading up to. The old man that helped me, the parkour master that gave me the totem, they all wanted me to make it to this point, and I wasn't gonna let them down. I jumped, and I made it.
Nice.
I did it. I actually did it. I turned around and
He's
looked
made
at
it.
how high I was.
I mean,
off
that
the
shows
ground.
it's not
I
that
had
hard
beaten
of
the
chain
course that
parkour, I
no
guess.
pro even attempts to do. And now I'm about to rank up. Once I step through these doors, I will no longer be a parkour
This is
pro.
it.
I
Is he
will
still
be
being watched?
a parkour master. The door
Oh,
opened,
it looks so
revealing
nice.
an entirely different room. All of the walls were made up of quartz. What was society even gonna look like up here? I couldn't describe it, but everything was so
beautiful.
perfect compared to the layers down below. I looked over and I saw a lava parkour jump with dispensers in the middle. Oh,
We
I
know what this
is.
means.
This
Take
would
your boots
hopefully
off.
be the last time I ever have to wear pro boots again. I took off my boots and threw them in the lava. And now I just gotta make sure I don't fail this jump. I jumped through the dispensers and I was equipped with golden boots. I was
Beautiful.
now officially a parkour master. The last time I ranked up to become a pro, there were people working in the parkour temple, but now I don't see anyone here.
Probably
I
not
realized
yet.
how different society was between the
I guess
noob and pro
parkour masters
level.
don't really
So
work.
How much
Is that what
different
happens?
could this society be? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. I walked up the stairs and I started to see the inside of the parkour temple. All right, I think I'm ready to see what society's like up here. I walked up the stairs into the parkour master
Oh, it's
society.
beautiful.
Oh my.
Let's see it.
This is what parkour civilization
Wow,
looks like
it's
as
beautiful.
A master. Up here, only
Skyscrapers.
the best of the best can
Trees.
survive all of the jumps. One missed jump and I would rank down back to a parkour pro, and all of my work to get up here would have been for nothing. And now it looks like I'm gonna be fighting for my life every jump. As a parkour noob, I only had
Yeah,
to
I mean,
do
one block jump,
jumps.
easy enough,
When
isn't
I
it?
became a pro, those 1-block jumps turned into 2-block jumps. And now as a parkour master, everywhere I look is a
3-block.
3-block jump.
Wow.
Except now up here, there are parkour highways. It seemed like taking the highway was a little easier since the glass
That's pretty
jumps were
cool.
about
They
2.5
put highways
blocks.
in
I was
Civilization.
expecting life to be different up here, but I did not think it would
No
look like
way.
this.
There's
I mean,
another-
were
there's
these
another
even
civilization
houses?
above.
These were more like skyscrapers. Wait, could I actually buy a skyscraper as a master?
With
I
enough-
looked
with
up,
enough
and
jumps?
way up high, I saw a parkour master easily making the jumps. And just when I thought he was gonna die from fall damage, he just caught himself with a water bucket and moved on. I've never heard
Ooh,
of water bucket
MLGs.
parkour being a thing, but that's when I remembered the parkour master that
Yeah,
I battled.
they're good at
came down the
MLGs.
same way. So parkour masters can use water to never take fall damage? All right, well, it looks like I gotta go find myself a water bucket. I made my way over to what looked like to be some sort of parkour staircase, and this definitely didn't look like an easy staircase to climb.
Nah,
I wouldn't
piece
do
of
that
cake.
if I were you.
Oh,
Oh.
no, my first day as a parkour master and I'm already in trouble? I turned around but didn't see anybody until a parkour
Oh.
master dropped down
Hello?
out of nowhere.
It seems like you're new here. You should probably get off the staircase if you don't have your water bucket yet.
Okay, I'm not gonna fight back on this one.
Well, at
not
least he's
trying to
being
make enemies
nice.
on my first day. The master explained that I shouldn't be going up high without a water bucket because one missed jump and I'll die from fall damage. And he said masters never die from fall damage. Okay, so
They
how do I
always
get a water
clutch it.
bucket then?
Do you even have a house yet?
No.
You should
All right,
focus on
buddy,
getting a
you
house
should
up.
probably get a house first.
Yeah,
like
come on.
That one over
Take
there.
your time.
You need something on the ground level. Something where you don't have to go up high for.
Are you serious? These are actually houses? Okay, so how do I get a house? The master showed me the building where I could
Oh,
buy my
there we go.
parkour
Real estate.
skyscraper.
You're new here. I'll help you out a little bit. I'm kind of rich, so just take this and hopefully that will help you buy your first house.
You're
Wait.
rich? Wait, what does that mean? It was already clear that I knew nothing about what life
So,
was like up here. The
parkour
master
doesn't buy you
dropped me
stuff
5
at
oak
the master
blocks?
level?
Why would he drop me these? Wait, how much is a skyscraper gonna cost? I made my way over to the the shop where I was gonna buy my first house as a parkour master. I walked inside and the store looked nothing like all of the other shops I bought houses from.
Why is there a
Instead,
bug
there
working
was
there?
just one giant hole in the middle. Okay, don't tell me I have to do this jump to buy a skyscraper. Is this even possible?
Okay, clearly you have no idea how this works. You have to build your jump, buddy.
Let's go. I could build my own jump to pay for my house? Now I understand why the parkour master gave me
Yes,
these
this is why
blocks.
I need blocks.
All right, what am I gonna build? Wait, how do I even know this is gonna be enough to buy the house? Can't you just tell me how much the house costs?
No, that's your job. Just warning you, if you don't pay enough, I'm not gonna sell you a house.
Okay, I have to
Oh.
guess the price. That's just great. Let's just hope this 3-block diagonal jump works. Nice. All right, did I get the house?
Bro, you're kidding, right? You're trying to buy a skyscraper. Why would you think that would work? If I had a dirt house to sell, I wouldn't even give it to you for that.
Okay, that's not good.
That's
now
the
I just
easiest
wasted
jump
3
ever.
of the blocks I had. How am I possibly gonna make a jump hard enough to buy a skyscraper with 1 block? Okay, let's see. This is a 3-block jump and then into a 2-block jump. Oh god, I have an
360
idea
it.
and I don't
Double
like
360,
it. But
go on.
if I'm gonna buy a parkour skyscraper, I think this is my only choice. This is such a bad idea. Why am
Back
I
to
doing
back.
this?
Come on, come
Whatever.
on.
I'm
You
just
can
gonna
do
go for it. 1, 2. Oh,
Oh,
I cannot
nice.
believe I just made that.
That's got to be
I've
skyscraper
never
potential.
even seen a 360, but you just
Nobody,
paid me with
I'm
2
telling you
in a
now,
row.
nobody in parkour civilization has seen a 360 ever anywhere. Like, this is literally, it doesn't matter where you are. I'm telling you now, he will be a parkour champion because of the 360. It's that
This
simple.
is incredible. Let me show you to your parkour skyscraper.
If there's one thing I know about life in parkour civilization, it's that a 360 can solve everything.
All right, here's
Exactly.
your new house.
He's right.
I have to be the first person in history to have bought a house on the noob level, the pro level, and the master
That's
level.
definitely the question. How'd you get
I cannot
that?
wait to check this out. Wait, how do I even get up here?
Oh, yeah, usually when people buy this house, they water bucket from all the way up there to get inside.
I have to jump from all the way up there just to get up 1 block?
No, since you paid me a lot, I'll help you out.
The guy told me I could use this block instead of water bucketing, but he said as a parkour master, if you're caught using this, everyone will make fun of you. That means I'm gonna have to get a water bucket before
You're gonna have to
I
get a
become
water bucket
social
somehow.
outcast up here. All right, time to check out the biggest house I've ever bought in parkour civilization. The downside about being a parkour master is every jump in my life is now so much harder.
That's
the
true.
houses up
Maybe,
here had so
you know what?
many
Maybe life was better as a parkour noob. 1 block jumps, you knew where you were. Bit of chicken, bit of beef, if you know, if you go for it. Now it's like, okay, I've got to do crazy jumps every single jump of my life. It's like non-stop stress.
more spaces to fall through. I even had to jump if I wanted to go on the couch. But that's
what I
what it
mean.
means to be a master
Jump
in
on the
parkour
couch.
civilization. Parkour
That puts a
masters
whole
are
new meaning
never
when you say,
supposed
"I'm
to
gonna
fall,
jump
no
into
matter
bed."
how hard the jump is. So I guess I have to do all these glass jumps every time I want to get to the top floor of my house. When I climbed up the ladder, I was in
Although
my
you're parkour
very
master,
own
it should be
garden.
easy enough.
I didn't even know nature like this still existed in parkour civilization, but
trees
now
and
I
everything.
have it in my house. This entire level of